Whenever I go on vacation, I like to book accommodations that are totally unique, and there's nothing quite like staying in a tiny house hotel. So today I'm revisiting Tiny Digs Hotel, where I'm interviewing one of the owners and designers, and she's gonna take us through her very favorite tiny house that they have here on the property. When it comes to tiny house living, you really need to find a design and layout that fits perfectly with your particular lifestyle. One thing I love about this hotel in particular is every single tiny house has a unique theme. So today's tiny house is a Victorian tiny house theme, which is one of my absolute favorite themes, by the way. So let's go take a tour and learn more about what it takes to run a tiny house hotel.
Make this house our tiny home.
Hi, I'm Pam Westra, and I'm the owner of Tiny Digs Hotel here in Portland, Oregon. Tiny Digs was conceived a few years ago, but it took us a whole year to build all the houses that we wanted to start with. We opened in the fall of 2016 with 6 houses. We now have 9 houses on site. So we rent out tiny houses as a hotel so people can try out the tiny house lifestyle. We wanted each house to be designed differently. So if somebody came and said, I'm thinking of living tiny, they would have different style houses to go in and see them. The Cottage Tiny House is the 9th house that we built for Tiny Digs, and we purposely put it out into the future a little bit because we knew we wanted to do a little bit more detail on this house and have a little more time to devote to it. It took us 4 months to build this house. The Cottage Victorian home that we have here that we're in today is reminiscent of my home in Michigan, which was also a Cottage Victorian. We raised our boys in that home and left it behind when we hit the road in an RV for a few years. It has a lot of the white features that we had in the house, the rosettes on the corners of the window, the fireplace that was all custom designed, and some of the stained glass and such like in our home back in Michigan. This is my favorite house at Tiny Digs because of all the details that went into it and the memories that I share between this house and my dream house that I had in Michigan at one time. So the cottage has a few design tricks to it to make it feel larger and roomier. It has a low ceiling when you walk in the front door. Your eye travels to the end of the house to this nice big beautiful window at the back with the greenery outside, and then to the chandelier and to the high ceiling above. People often remark when they come in here, this can't be the same size as the other houses, but it really is. Once you enter the house, you'll notice the fireplace here. It's a little electric fireplace, and we custom designed this surround to fit in this area. Even though we have heating and air conditioning unit in the house, the fireplace will really get it nice and toasty warm in here. The couch here is really a couch bed. It has 2 handles on the front, and you can slide that out. Sometimes 2 women will come and stay here, friends visiting town, and they want separate sleeping arrangements, and this does pull out into a nice queen-size bed. This quilt that's on the couch looks like it might be an old antique. It is not. It's a Target find, and these pillow shams. On to the curtains here. I was at a yard sale, and a woman had all these old lace curtains that were in great shape still. Then I found this green stained glass window, just a yard sale find for like $15. Who would think that you could find such a beautiful piece of leaded glass for just $15? And then I found another little leaded glass over here on the stairway for this tiny window. And these windows, again, were specifically made just for hanging the leaded glass in and some design going up the stairway too. Then we have the little drop leaf table here. I just love drop leaf tables. We have them in several of the houses. It's an old antique also. This leaf is up, the back leaf is down. One day I was walking through Goodwill and this little lamp was in Goodwill. It's an old hurricane lamp that was used back in the day with kerosene in it. I brought it home, ordered these little electrical additions to it. At the table here, the drop leaf table, we have a couple chairs. I did do the mismatched chair thing on purpose. I just think it's just kind of a cool design thing. I like the eclectic look more. This one was just on the curbside again in a free pile, and I went up and asked the woman if this was truly, she was getting rid of it. She said, yes, if you need some Victorian things, come on in the house. My mother just passed away and we are here cleaning the house out. We got several other things from her that day too. She just gave it to us. She was just totally excited to have her mother's memory live on in something that was going to be repurposed and reused. And so we hope that she comes by and visits us one day. I really love these plates on the wall. This was a definite Pinterest find. I saw that, I loved it, then went on the hunt for different shapes and sizes of plates. During the Victorian period, angels were a big thing, and actually my house in Michigan that was a cottage Victorian home, we called it Angel House, and I had at least one angel in every room of the house. I wanted to carry that over to the cottage here at the hotel also. So we have this little angel above the window, and she's the only one that's in the house, but it reminds me of my old home. In all our houses at Tiny Digs Hotel, we have little kitchenettes of some sort so people can make their coffee or their tea. And so we chose induction heat plates for the safety factor. Long ago, I visualized in this house of having an old china cabinet here as the whole kitchen. In this space, we are a hotel, so we don't need an extravagant kitchen. We just need a small place to make some coffee or tea, wash your dishes, maybe heat some leftover foods up. And so this china cabinet was the ideal thing. It took me a long time to find this. We took a galvanized container and made it right into a sink. Now this has a drain straight down through this, and we did caulking around here, plumbed it out with the faucet, put all these beautiful dishes that I found at different estate sales and thrift stores. I was quite proud of myself. I actually did the lighting in this cabinet all by myself one day. Also put the glass shelves in so that the light would travel down through to the dishes below. The chandelier, I think, was one of my first finds for the tiny house. It's just from Home Depot. It was such a good deal, and it looks like an old period correct chandelier from a Victorian home. The staircase is another thing that I really wanted to put into this house. These were all spindles that were acquired from odd lots at rebuild centers around town. With the hotel, we wanted safety features because it was a hotel. When a guest comes, they may not be so familiar or comfortable on a ladder. This has a nice outside railing so it feels more safe and secure for them to climb up. This is the loft of the Cottage Tiny House, and as you can see, it has these dormers on the sides and this peaked roof that goes into a very center piece here, and we used one of these rosettes in the very center to cover up where all the wood came in and matched. Again, that Target quilt and pillow shams. All our main beds at Tiny Digs here are queen-sized beds. I want to show you the design of the bathroom. So this is a sliding door instead of a swing door. We use them in most of our houses because they're such space savers. The sink is around the other side of this, so if you're going to use the sink, you have to actually come in the bathroom, close the door, and then move to the position where the door was slid to before. Even the toilet has a little bit of design feature of the Victorian era, right even down to the floor level here. There's some contours. All our toilets in Tiny Digs are flush toilets. I know a lot of tiny houses have composting toilets. That's great. We're in the city, we're required to have flushing toilets. So all our toilets are plumbed out the bottom of the tiny house and go to city sewers. We are hooked up to city water, sewer, and electric, just like if you went to an RV park. So all the houses in Tiny Digs have a full shower, and this one is no exception. You can stand under it as a rain shower if you like that effect, or you can turn off the rain shower and have the handheld sprayer. And every Victorian house has to have a cool little front porch with some gingerbreading and bric-a-brac on it. The front door is no exception. It has a little bit of bric-a-brac here and here on the door. Took me forever to find this door. It was not the most ideal, but it was as close as I could get to what I had envisioned in my mind for this house. But it is a 100-year-old door, so it's pretty cool. As you can see in the side of the house here, we have an electrical hookup just like you would do on an RV. We chose to have 50 amps of service. So we wanted it easy peasy for the guests and for us for maintenance wise. We didn't want a guest to run out of gas for their heating or their cooking. All the houses are 16-foot long or 18-foot long depending on the house, and so they're double axle, specifically made trailers from Iron Eagle Trailers right here on the east side of Portland. The paint isn't sprayed on them, it's all powder coated and baked on for longevity, and so they don't rust out. The feeling that the guests get and the feedback that I get, it's just tremendous. I just love it. We get people that come to Tiny Digs from all sorts of backgrounds. Even if a person isn't going to live tiny themselves, they get so excited when they come here and see the tinies and get to experience this. They've seen a lot of the TV shows, they've read about it, and it's just near and dear to them too when they leave, just like it is me.
Thank you for checking out my videos. I would really love it if you would subscribe and share with your friends so that this channel can continue to grow. Make sure to check back soon because I post a new video every single Friday.